you very much. Good morning, everybody. I'm extremely pleased to take part in this conference dedicated to gender equality, 20 years after the adoption of the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, the impact on the security and defense sector. I think this is a good moment to review what we have done and define together how we can step up our commitments. Even though the pandemic situation makes it difficult for us all to carry out our activities in the manner we wish to, today's event proves our resilience and our ability to adapt and find ways to continue to focus on achieving our goals and strengthen our cooperation for common objectives in what it could become a new normality. A very warm welcome to Ms. Claire Hutchinson, NATO Special Representative for Women, Peace and Security, who accepted to share with us her tremendous experience and knowledge in this domain. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the agenda is as well inspired as ambitious, bringing together representatives of NATO, the South Europe Defense Ministerial Member States, CBRIG, and representative of the United Nations Development Programme, the Southeastern and Eastern Europe Clearinghouse for the control of small arms and light weapons, and Regional Arms Control Verification and Implementation Assistance Center, alongside Romanian governmental and non-governmental authorities. So, this year, we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the UN and its founding charter, and the 65th anniversary of Romania's accession to the organization. We are all celebrating also, as I have mentioned already, the 20th anniversary of the adoption by the UN Security Council of Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security. Moreover, I would like to mention the UN Secretary General Action for Peacekeeping Initiative launched in 2018 and endorsed as of today by over 150 member states and 4 regional organizations, which is also comprising among the 8 priority commitment areas, the women, peace and security pillar. Ladies and gentlemen, the international community has once again been able to understand that global crises require coordinated solutions and answers based on a sound system of democratic principles and respect for international law, as well as a set of tools adapted to the current challenges we are facing all. Gender perspective in the security and defense sector has become over time a topic of paramount importance, which is challenging more and more the current human resources management. It has been discovered that groups comprising both men and women are more productive and together can lead to innovative methods or solutions to various issues since they are complementary in nature. The process of accepting women as partners was based on the recognition of complementary qualities to male leadership, which rather define interpersonal skills, empathy, sociability, the ability to change perspective, and bend to the point of view of the interlocutor. Having a greater predisposition to listen, women can capitalize more effectively on the information received, often involving the other members of the team focusing more on taking the best solution. If you look back in history, our country, Romania, can be proud of its wide openness in terms of gender perspective. Here I would like to recall, with your permission, the heroism of Caterina Teodoroiu, a Romanian nurse who voluntarily fought in the First World War as an infantry platoon leader. Her deeds of courage and sacrifice made Second Lieutenant Teodoroi one of the most famous female warriors of our nation. And the heroism of Romanian women does not stop at the First World Conflagration. Thus, an example with even more recent impact is represented by Smaranda Brescu, a Romanian parachuting and aviation pioneer who was a multiple world record holder, due to which she earned her nickname Queen of Heights. Also, she was a pilot in the medical evacuation wing during Second World War, the wing known as the White Squadron. I'm very proud to say that just yesterday we organized a ceremony for awarding the name of Smaranda Brescu to the conference room of the department that I'm leading. However, I want to point out that for 20 years now, the national approach to gender perspective and equal opportunities has been a continuous process of reshaping. Our organization has taken the lead in promoting and implementing the Women, Peace and Security agenda at national level. Thus, based on national legal framework, we promote and support fair and balanced access to all hierarchical levels for men and women, military and civilian, to both leading and executive positions, with the observance of complying with performance selection criteria. Therefore, there are no restrictions regarding women's participation and selections for positions in MOD specific to permanent missions from the military representations of Romania to international organizations, or temporary missions specific to commanding or executive structures deployed abroad. If 20 years ago the women presence in the armed forces was rather symbolic, numerically reduced, and occupying especially position in the auxiliary fields, today we can proudly say that we have a completely different situation. Today we have women, military and civilians, in leadership. We have women in position of Secretary of State, Secretary General of the Ministry, directors of central branches, commanders of units or subunits, commanders of medical units. Women soldiers are now a regular presence in all barracks, not only in the support or auxiliary structures, but also in the combatants. They are infantry, gunners, tankers, engineers, aviators, sailors, divers, or in forces for special operations, preparing shoulder by shoulder, without any difference of discrimination with their male colleagues. We had the first female pilot officer on supersonic planes and the launch of the first Hawk surface-to-air missile after the entry of the system into the endowment of the Romanian Armed Forces was performed by a female officer. Recently, Lieutenant Commander Simona became the first female pilot in command on C-17 aircraft within the NATO Strategic Transport Unit. And last but not least, I'd like to mention that in the current pandemic, the largest hospital unit of the Ministry of National Defense, the Central Military Emergency Hospital, is headed by a woman, Major General. I know that there are many remarkable examples in your armed forces also, in which women have made a difference. Today, women represent over 20% of the ministry personnel, a presence that is beginning to be reflected in the number of staff participating in external missions, where the percentage is close to 9%. To conclude, I want to assure you that I am more than confident that with your valuable contribution, the conference will represent another step forward on our common path of developing and strengthening cooperation between our countries for women empowerment, both in regional framework bilaterally. In this respect, I wish you all the success for the conference. I'd like to thank all the speakers and participants, and I'm sure that this conference will make a difference and will help us all to step out our commitments. Thank you.